Where else in British Columbia can you wait in a slow-moving line, spend $10 on an ice cream cone, and still justify it to yourself that it was all worth it? Welcome to White Rock, BC. To the underinformed, some may think White Rock is just a sleepy beach town with a long pier, a painted boulder, and some overpriced ice cream. And yeah, those things are here. But White Rock is way more than that. It's got a vibe, a feeling you don't really get until you've walked the promenade, grabbed a coffee at a local spot, and watched the sunset over the ocean. There's a reason that people pay a premium to live here, and it's not just for the view.
You only get one chance to buy or sell your next home. Let's get it right.
So today I'm pulling back the curtain on what White Rock, BC is really known for and why so many people, whether they're moving here or just coming for a visit, are absolutely obsessed with it. White Rock is a small city tucked right against the ocean at the southern edge of Metro Vancouver, just minutes from the US border. In fact, that's the US right there. Now, technically, it's its own city, but people often lump it together with South Surrey only because truthfully, White Rock's pretty small. It's about 5 square kilometers. So the residents of both areas share many of the same amenities and services. It's walkable, laid back, and for a lot of people, it feels like another world compared to the rest of the Lower Mainland. So what's it actually known for? To start with the obvious, White Rock's waterfront is defined by two iconic landmarks that you have to know about. And trust me, there's more to them than meets the eye. Let's talk about the White Rock Pier. You've probably seen it, the wooden docks slicing into the sea. It's about 470 meters long and still promoted locally anyways as Canada's longest pier, a title that the city holds near and dear to their hearts. Built in 1914 to serve steamships, it's been battered by storms, torn apart in 2018, and completely rebuilt in 2019 to bring it back to today's magic. Today, it's still a destination for both tourists and locals where they stroll to the end, watch someone fishing, catch the sunset, or just feel like they're floating on the water itself. But here's the thing, once you've done the pier walk, snapped the photos, and grabbed your fish and chips, you realize it's just one piece of the story, one piece of the White Rock history. So naturally, you'll want to head over about 150 big steps to the White Rock itself. And why not? The city was named after this White Rock. The real star of the show here, the White Rock, is a 486-ton glacier boulder that sailed over during the Ice Age, then got coated in seabird guano, or poop if you're unfamiliar with that word, so much so that the sailors used it as a beacon for navigational purposes. And today, the city repaints it every month to keep it bright white. And yes, it still attracts tourists who say, wait, that's it? And honestly, locals get a kick out of the fact that everyone visits just for a painted rock. So why is it so special to the locals and such a draw to tourists? Well, it's kind of the story behind it. According to the Coast Salish First Nations oral tradition, the story goes like this. A young Samiamu chief's son fell in love with a princess from a rival tribe. Their love was forbidden, kind of like a Romeo and Juliet type situation, but way before Shakespeare ever penned a word. To be together, the young man vowed to start a new community where people could live in peace, no tribal divisions, no war. He threw a massive rock into the sea and said they would build their new home wherever that rock landed. The rock drifted ashore, and that spot became White Rock. Pretty cool, right? So together, the pier and this Coast Salish legend form an iconic combo, one that gives you the views, the other gives you the story. And both remind you that White Rock is more than just a photo op. And since we're talking about the roots of this place, I'd also encourage you to learn more about the Semiahmoo First Nations, the original stewards of this land. They still live and love on this peninsula today, and their history here runs deep, and it's part of what gives White Rock its soul. So check them out. Now that we've hit the icons, let's talk about the promenade, because this thing deserves way more credit. It's 2.2 kilometers of pure coastal bliss. It's flat for the most part, scenic, and right along the shoreline. So it stretches from East Beach to West Beach, linking the entire waterfront in one of the most iconic walks in all of the Lower Mainland. Whether you're power walking with a coffee or just cruising with a stroller, this path gives you some of the best oceanfront vibes in BC without needing a ferry ride to get there. And it's not just for tourists. Locals walk it daily. Dogs love it, and joggers swear by it. And if you're visiting for the first time, this is that part of town that makes you go, yeah, I could totally live here. Along the way, you'll find cafes and gelato spots perfect for a mid-walk treat, patios that fill up fast on sunny days, and independent shops with everything from beachwear to handmade art. Now, let's break down the two sides of the beach because they each offer something totally different. Separated by what the locals call the hump, there are two distinct sides to the beach: East Beach and West Beach. East Beach is the quieter side. It's calm, family friendly, and perfect if you're into long walks, tide pools, or just soaking in the peace and quiet. The tide in this area rolls way out, way further on this side. So if you've ever dreamed of walking a kilometer into the ocean without getting your knees wet, this is your spot. Families love this area too because it gives them the space to stretch out on the sand at the beach when the tide is fully out. You're gonna find a lot more mom and pop shops here and a chill, laid back vibe that's kind of hard to beat. Then of course there's West Beach, and this is where the action really lives. It's busier, it's louder, it's packed with restaurants, patios, and summer energy. It's also where you're gonna find the White Rock and the famous pier, plus a lot more competition for parking once the sun comes out. Each side has its own personality. East Beach is for peace, West Beach kind of for the people, and together that's really what gives White Rock its small town charm with really big coastal energy. Now, let's talk about food. Marine Drive isn't just home to ocean views. It's packed with locally owned spots that ooze charm and character. Think fewer big chains and more hidden gems. You've got long-standing favorites here, like Uli's, which is a local institution, or the Hillcrest Bakery. You've got Laura's Coffee Corner, and that gelato place that's always got a lineup in July for a reason. And no, there's no Starbucks on the beach strip, and that's kind of the point. White Rock protects its vibe. The businesses here are small, personal, and proud. It costs a bit more for sure, but the experience, it's way better. You're sipping lattes, steps from the ocean, not dodging food court noise. Whether it's a laid-back brunch, a wine bar date, or just a waffle cone at sunset, White Rock nails the lifestyle without feeling commercial. If you want the inside scoop on the best businesses and services in White Rock, you can also check out our other YouTube channel called The Best of White Rock, or visit it online. That's where I actually sit down with local business owners from White Rock, hear their stories, and share why their work matters to the community. All the links that you need to check all that out are in the description below of this video. Next, we need to talk about real estate because you can't talk about White Rock without talking about its price tag. This isn't the most affordable beach town in BC. White Rock real estate comes at a premium. You're paying for ocean views, walkability, and lifestyle. And buyers, well, they're not just coming from down the street. You've got folks relocating here from Vancouver and other areas of the Lower Mainland, Alberta, Ontario, and even the United States, drawn in by the coastal charm, the milder climate, and the safer, slower pace of life. Detached homes here often push well over the $2 million mark, especially near the water, where prices can run up to $6 million or more. Condos are a little more accessible, some starting in the mid 500,000s, but if you want a view or something newer, expect to pay closer to 800,000 and up. Also scattered throughout the city are townhomes, but in much smaller kind of niche style complexes, likely a lot smaller than some of the bigger, city type townhome complexes that you're probably imagining. Now, if I gave you a little bit of sticker shock, let's be honest, you're not moving here to save money. You're moving here to trade traffic for ocean air, to trade big box stores for local boutiques, and to trade city noise for waves crashing at night and trains. The train makes noise. But people don't move to White Rock for a deal, they move here for the lifestyle. And sure, the ocean views are stunning, but what really makes White Rock feel like a lifestyle instead of a location, it's just everything that's built around the beach. And hey, worth mentioning, if you are thinking about moving to White Rock, we do monthly videos breaking down the latest real estate prices, trends, and neighborhood insights. So just hit the subscribe button and check out the Living in White Rock playlist on this channel as well. It's packed with everything that you're going to want to know before you make the leap. Okay, so one of the best things about living in White Rock isn't just the beach, it's how close you are to real honest to goodness nature. A few minutes inland and you're in South Surrey, home to some of the most beautiful forests and walking trails in the entire region. Local favorites include Sunnyside Acres Urban Forest, which is over 130 hectares of protected second growth forest. It's quiet, shaded, and full of winding trails where locals like to jog, stroll, and sometimes spot owls or woodpeckers. You've got Redwood Park, known for its massive trees, whimsical fairy door scavenger hunts. You'll just have to visit to know what I'm talking about. And wide open picnic areas. It's a local gem. You've also got the Nickelmackle River Trails, which is a peaceful stretch along the river for bike rides, dog walks, or just getting away from the noise. And after you've soaked in that forest air, White Rock and South Surrey have got you covered for both shopping and convenience. In White Rock, I want you to think boutique. Along Johnson Road and Marine Drive, you'll find local shops, artisan bakeries, cozy bookstores, and that perfect coastal town charm. But if you're looking for bigger retail therapy, you're going to head a few blocks into South Surrey and you'll hit the Grandview Corners area or Morgan Crossing, two massive outdoor shopping centers with major brands, restaurants, grocery stores, gyms, and just about everything else. There's also the Semiahmoo shopping area, or what many locals like to call downtown White Rock, where most of those locals do their shopping and get their services from. Whether your perfect day is a walk through the towering trees or sipping a matcha latte while browsing locally made candles, you don't have to choose, because in White Rock, you actually get both. Now, here's something that most people don't realize about White Rock until they live here, and it makes them love it even more once they learn it. White Rock has its own microclimate, and that's not just a fancy weather term, it's a legit local perk that makes this little seaside town feel like a hidden slice of California, but right here in British Columbia. While the rest of Metro Vancouver is stuck under clouds or drizzling rain, White Rock often stays bright and dry. On any given day, check the weather in any of the surrounding communities, whether it's Langley or Burnaby or even parts of South Surrey, it'll say cloudy with showers. Then look at White Rock, clear skies. The difference is real, and it's one of the main reasons this place feels so relaxed. So why does this happen? Well, the Semiahmoo Peninsula's geography plays a huge role. Hills to the north and west help block the storm systems, and the ocean moderates the temperature, so winters here are milder and snow rarely sticks. The coastal breezes keep the air fresh even on hot days, and it's why even in the middle of January, you'll still see people strolling the White Rock Beach promenade, sipping coffee and soaking in the sunshine rays while the rest of Metro Vancouver is stuck in sideways rain. Now, here's where it gets even better. According to Metro Vancouver weather, White Rock averages around 1,930 hours of sunshine per year. That's among the highest in the region. So for comparison, Vancouver sits at roughly 1,938 hours, but it feels gloomier due to more fog, storms, and mist. And in July, you can get up to 289 hours of sunshine, which is nearly 9 to 10 hours a day. And it shows in White Rock. Patios here stay open later. People walk the pier year-round, and the town just feels brighter, literally and emotionally. The consistent light, it's one of the big reasons so many retirees, artists, and remote workers choose White Rock. Not just for the view, but for the mood. More light equals better vibes. The golden coastal sunshine makes everything here feel easier, lighter, and happier. Living in White Rock doesn't just change your location, it actually changes your whole day. And for a lot of people, that alone is worth the move and the price tag to live here. So what is White Rock, BC known for? Now you know, it's not just the beach or just the pier. It's the vibe, it's the lifestyle, it's the sunshine, it's the mix of laid-back charm and walkable city convenience tucked between the forest and the ocean. It's where you can spend the morning sipping a latte on the promenade, your afternoon hiking through second growth forest, and still be home in time for dinner at a locally owned patio restaurant overlooking the water. Whether you're visiting or thinking about moving here, knowing what makes White Rock helps you appreciate it so much more. And if you're seriously considering calling this place home, we should chat. My team and I are locals, we're ambassadors, and yes, some of the top rated realtors in the area. We don't just know the market, we know the community, the people, and the pockets that'll fit you best. If you've got questions or need help navigating your move, just reach out. We're happy to help. And if you're interested in watching a really fun video, one that will get you uber curious and possibly a little bit jealous. The video coming up next is all about where the ultra wealthy live in the area and what their homes look like both inside and out, plus what the jaw-dropping price tags of them are. I know you're gonna love it, and it's a really fun one, so you don't want to miss it, and I'll see you over there right now. Our first video on where White Rock's ultra wealthy live got everybody talking, but guess what? There is more. 3 more areas, even crazier prices, and properties that redefine the word luxury.